Hello everyone, my name is JS and welcome back to my channel. If you've been here for a while, then you probably already know that I have a very normal habit of becoming completely obsessed with fictional worlds and then immediately making original characters for them. It's just part of my creative process at this point. If I see anything with a cool setting and even a slightly easy to understand magic system, you can pretty much assume there's gonna be at least one character that my brain starts to create. And it doesn't stop until I have some semblance of a backstory, a character to ship them with, and at least 3 different outfit variations. And recently, the world that's been living in my head rent-free is Gachiakuta. Hopefully, I am not your first introduction to this show. In case I am though, just to catch you up to speed, Gachiakuta is a dystopian series created by Kei Urana. We follow Rudo Suabrek, who grew up in the disenfranchised outskirts of a floating city called the Sphere. After he is falsely accused of a crime and thrown into the wasteland below they refer to as the pit, he wakes up on the ground surrounded by pollution from spherite trash that has accumulated so much negative emotion, it's mutated into large, violent creatures known as trash beasts. I know it's like a lot already, but there's more. Because it's not just these beasts that gain power from the energy of things that would have otherwise been discarded. There's also a group of people known as givers who are able to literally give life into a precious object of theirs. We don't know how everyone chooses to use these powers, but we know some of them go on to work for an organization known as the Cleaners, whose primary job is to protect the people on the ground from trash beasts. There's other things that they do and that I have not mentioned, obviously, but I'm not trying to spoil everything. You'll just have to watch it. And then maybe you can enjoy Enjin Week next year. Some of you are probably asking, okay, but what is Enjin Week? It's a mini challenge that just started this year, dedicated to one of the main cleaners we get to know throughout the series, Enjin. Every anime has at least one character that most of the fandom simps over, and I think it's fair to say that Enjin is that character. Although there are plenty of other characters that are simp-worthy. The ground is full of hot people. If you're not well versed in anime fandoms, then maybe you're not familiar with the idea of having a week dedicated to a character that either starts, includes during, or ends the challenge with their birthday. Usually the other days around it include a series of prompts that you're welcome to use as part of that celebration. Most of them happen on Twitter, like this one, and you're not required to do something for every single prompt. You can do as many or as little as you'd like. And it's not limited to only drawing. You can also write a fic or cosplay. I'm sure there's other ways people participate, but those are the main ones I usually see. Whatever you do for the week, you can submit to a hashtag so everyone else joining the challenge can easily see and support each other. So when I heard about Enjin Week, I knew I wanted to join, especially since I'd made an OC for this world that also happens to be shipped with him. It is a little challenging having an OC in this fandom, and I'm not going to get into the drama of it all in this video. Just know that there are always ways to engage with the fandom in your creative way while still being respectful to the author's wishes. And I do want to be respectful to her because I admire her work and the world she's made. When I first started thinking about characters for this show, I'd only just finished the anime. As of now, I've also caught up on the manga. Don't worry though, I will not be spoiling any plot points here. There is a teeny tiny spoiler of Enjin's teenage design when we get to day 5, but that's the closest we get to any spoiler territory. Otherwise, we'll just be going through the prompts of each day and what I made for it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So day 1 for Enjin Week was Beach Day. I actually struggled a lot with this one. Again, it's the first day, the first drawing, whatever. I always struggle with it. And I really should just start these things like out of order so that I don't get that kind of weird anxiety where I'm like, oh my gosh, everything's riding on this. It's not. We have the whole week, but you know, my brain will sit there and try to hype this up for me regardless. But luckily Pinterest was there to kind of help me out on this one. It was funny actually because after I posted this on the first day, I saw that another artist had also posted a very similar post. I'm like, oh my gosh, we found the same Pinterest post. It was cool seeing how we both kind of interpreted the hands because it was challenging in the reference photo, and you can see I'm just going over it. Eventually I just make up my own hand pose. This is not the same one that I was referring to before, but I figured I was just going to draw him laying on the beach. At first I thought we should do something bright and sunny, and then I remembered because they're down there with all the trash beasts and the pollution, it would probably be a lot grayer than, you know, I was thinking. So like any beaches they have might be like actually really gray and dingy, but you know, he'll still have a nice day, I'm sure. He has a bunch of tattoos. If you have not seen, a lot of blackout tattoos as well. So they're a little challenging to draw. Otherwise, I would have attempted to draw him and feature shirtless Enjin, but I was already struggling with the first day. I could not add any more challenges to that. Although I had a much easier time. I feel like it's weird to say I had an easier time with my OC because one, she's my OC, but two, this is a specific type of OC, if you're not familiar, called a self-insert OC. So I don't really have that much difficulty drawing myself. So I feel like it doesn't really do much for me to say, well, I didn't have trouble drawing her. You would expect that, I would think, but I had a lot of fun trying to add her into this. She's a lot more reserved than Enjin. They both know, obviously, that she likes him and she reciprocates. She's just, really shy, and he really enjoys teasing her and trying to get a rise out of her at times, or just trying to make her blush. So that was what I went for on the first day, just trying to get a cute little beach scene between the two of them. Day 2, the Doll Festival. So like I said, will not be spoiling any major plot arcs, and this is an arc that has already finished by the time this video has been posted in the manga. I don't know that they're going to be able to get to this in season 2. I know that's supposed to come out either late 2026, it said, or early 2027, but hopefully you get to see that. But this arc had the best fits. That's all I can really say without spoiling anything. We get to see the main team, Team Akuta, along with, of course, a couple of other cleaners from HQ in some new fits for this arc. It was quite a lot of fun, and I think one thing that I really love about Gachiakuta are all the fits that everybody has. I just think it's got such a great sense of style, looking not only at all the different uniforms that all the cleaners have, but also now when they go into other mission types and they have to kind of dress up a bit or just dress differently than they normally do. I think they just have a great sense of style. So it was so fun being able to add Jane in the mix here and being able to design her own Doll Festival suit. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, again, because I just hate giving spoilers. So I was just trying to keep them kind of like laid back. Men in suits, honestly, anybody in suits, because but fitted suits, always a great thing. I love myself a good vest type situation. So that's what I gave Jane as well. But I really enjoyed being able to design this, and it was kind of fun being able to see them side by side with each other afterwards. Day 3's prompt was all about the modern AU, and this was such an interesting day for me for multiple reasons. One, even though the prompts are over on Twitter, the idea for this prompt actually started on TikTok for me. I was scrolling and then happened across Joe Jonas singing a cover of Sailor Song, and I felt like that just made so much sense. I was stuck on like, what is Enjin gonna do in the modern universe? And then I was like, you know what? I think he just has something with a guitar. I can't figure out everything. And I was really trying to do more of a background this time because I have been trying to work on background since April. Ironically though, as you see me kind of like flipping back and forth between the characters here for a second, what I don't realize as I am working on the line art for Jane, who is simply just reading a book, is that I have unfortunately deleted the sketch for Enjin. So that sketch you saw of him in the beginning, that is not what I'm doing right now. As you can see, I realized, oops, I accidentally deleted it. I had to restart. I crashed out, went to bed, and then the next morning came back and did this. I did all of these also like ahead of time, so that helped a lot too. It wasn't like I did this on, I think this was Tuesday. Tuesday was technically day 3 because the week started on Sunday. So I did all of these, essentially like started this last Saturday and worked on it then. And then that was how I was able to feel like, okay, well, I can take an extra day. I can go to sleep, wake up tomorrow and kind of finish these. Because I was so mad having accidentally deleted that man. Oh, pissed me off, but you know, it's okay because I like this one a little bit better. I felt like the way that he was looking at things just made a lot more sense. But yeah, I again was trying to really work on the background a little bit more. I'm trying not to shy away from them entirely, and hopefully make them feel a little bit more cohesive. I think I'm feeling more confident in my backgrounds, and challenges like this really give me the opportunity to like really explore that, especially as I'm doing stuff that's supposed to be character focused. So this was such a fun day for me to be able to have that, do my little TikTok with the Sailor song, and also be able to have both of them just kind of sitting in this nice and quiet little company with each other. Before I continue, I just wanted to quickly point out that these are all pretty good examples of the kind of work I offer through my commissions. So if you've been watching me draw and thinking, wait, I have an OC for this fandom or any fandom, you're in luck because my commissions are currently open on both VGen and Commissions GG. Both sites will be linked below if you're interested now or just want to follow me for later, since I'm constantly running little discounts and adding new packages. Actually, on VGen, I'm currently running a summer sale special through September 14th, so all of my base prices have actually been slashed by 25%. I also just wanted to say I super appreciate all of the support that you guys have shown so far, even just from getting this far in the video. Just wanted to throw this out there before it ended. I hope you've been enjoying the video so far, and I'm curious to know which day is your favorite when you get to the end. Speaking of, on to mine. So day 4 was actually a free day, so I decided I was going to finish an animatic that I had been working on for really several months before this, but I felt like this would just be the perfect time to actually, kind of kick me into gear and finish this out. I cannot play the audio because it will get copyright. I don't want a copyright strike, but I will clip it above if you guys want to kind of click that, add it up in the queue and be able to go to that. But it's just Jane and Enjin, kind of at the start of their second chance romance, because they did know each other as children, as you'll see in the next day. But this is kind of, them not really being sure how to move forward, even though they very clearly have feelings for each other. So this is day 5, and this is, again, like I said in the beginning of the video, where you're gonna get that teeny tiny spoiler of what Enjin's teenage design looks like. I decided to do a comic for this day because, part of the spoiler, obviously we see little teenage Enjin with his vital instrument in the manga. That's all I'm going to say. I will not add more to that, but I of course wanted to add that for Jane. As you see, I got a bunch of new brushes, was trying to figure out how to use all of this in the comic format. It's my first time kind of using these, but I think I eventually got to this point where it just started making sense. I actually want to do more one-shot comics, not just with this character, but all of my other things as well, because they help me keep my skills up and keep me excited as I'm working on my webtoon, because it can be a lot working, I think, in that long form format for that story. But what keeps me excited about it is still being able to do little mini stories and not taking me too far out of the realm of working on a web comic. So I still feel like I'm grounded in that and still using, being productive somehow, because now I'm like, okay, I have an idea about composition a little bit differently. But I decided, again, this started kind of with an idea on TikTok. I recently saw something about Miraculous Ladybug and how the In the Rain scene is 10 years old. I was like, oh my gosh, I went back to go see it and I was like, oh, that's perfect. It is absolutely perfect for the two of them. So it's so hard because I can't really explain what's going on with Jane right now, because that's kind of a spoiler who she's waiting for in the rain anyway. But hopefully it's still enjoyable just to be able to see them as kids, seeing little Enjin kind of help make sure that her book doesn't get wet. Day 6 was the day off, so we were encouraged to try to figure out how Enjin spends his day off, because the cleaners do get that time. Actually, they're able to, this is just a job just like anything else, that are able to say, hey, maybe I don't want to spend today finding a trash piece, and then they get to go and do whatever they want. Some cleaners get more days off than others, but that's besides the point. But I thought this would be fun because rather than it being like the day off necessarily, maybe it's kind of like the night off right before, where they know, they don't have to get up in the morning, so they can stay out like as late as they want. Because it's always the fun part about having a day off, not having to go to bed and being able to sleep in the morning. So I thought this would be fun because we know canonically that Enjin likes to go out into the town. It's implied, obviously, that he likes to go to bars and or clubs. So I figured this would be a fun moment because that's also something that I really like to do. And it's one of the few places Jane is quite reserved anywhere that she can be seen, like above ground and in public. But when she's like underground and stuff, whether at the cleaner's headquarters or in moments like this, she is a lot less reserved, a lot more free, and not as worried about who is perceiving her, because I can't say it because it's a spoiler. Oh my goodness. I can't wait until these things come out and then I'm able to talk about this a little bit more freely. But I thought this would just be a fun moment of them being able to kind of dance together. An idea about, him being able to like also bring her out because he enjoys those things. A lot of people will sit there and go like, oh, well, maybe you shouldn't like encourage him to keep going out. I don't know why. I'm like, it's just a fun time. So it was also fun being able to do like kind of a blurry background, putting them together in this thing. So I just thought it was like a cute moment for them. And finally, we have their last day, the birthday celebration. So this one, I actually had like a good idea of what I wanted it to be. I just wanted to draw like a very simple, very quick kiss between the two of them. And then eventually after I finished the sketch, I kind of started to add a little bit more where I realized, okay, let's compose a scene here, because I think that's just something that I end up thinking after I get the sketch down. I get the feeling of the sketch that I want for the piece. And then sometimes the actual scene, the background comes later. It wasn't like a super like intricate background or anything, but it was still just this idea that, okay, so she's out here, she's giving him a little bit of a birthday kiss, but how do we kind of elevate this? What's the scene behind it? And then I realized maybe she's kind of like standing outside of his room. So she's called him out onto the floor. And why would she do that? Obviously, she maybe wants to be the first person to wish him a happy birthday. So after I kind of went back and forth with this piece a little bit, because I don't know, for some reason the angles were not working with me here with the hair, so I had to go back and forth on it a couple of times. But after that, I just felt like it would just make sense for her to be there, not necessarily like inside the room, but just kind of like calling him out for a moment, because she actually doesn't really stay at the headquarters as often or just as much as everybody else. She's kind of out of it a little bit more, but she stayed late just for him in this case, just so that she could sit here and be the first to wish him happy birthday and give him a little bit of a kiss. And I just think things like this are just so much fun, being able to have a character that maybe doesn't feel as loved or appreciated. It's nice to think that, there's this universe here where we all really do love and appreciate them. And that's everything I made for Enjin Week. I think this was such a good way to keep me energized after Art Fight. I can tend to get into a bit of a slump in August because Art Fight gives me this kind of external direction where all my creativity is going towards things for other people's OCs. Which, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love that, obviously. But it can be hard to try to think of things for your own OCs afterwards. And even though the point of this week was to communally celebrate a loved character in the series, I think little challenges like this are just great for getting you back into the swing of creating things for yourself again. If you want to learn more about Jane and her relationships, you can head to Unveil, where I keep all of my characters, all 30 of them, and get to upload things like writings alongside with the artwork. I do have a second OC that I've been working on for the series as well, but I guess you'll just have to wait until I reveal them later. I will say though, my channel members in tiers Bean Plant and higher will more than likely get to see them first, or at least early concept artwork. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to join the channel. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, like this video, and I hope you'll consider subscribing so that we can see more of each other in the future. As always, all of my links are down below if you'd like to find me elsewhere online, including my links to my commission pages, as I mentioned before. I'll definitely be on the lookout for more character weeks in the future. Let me know what your favorite day was, or if you participated in Enjin Week. I got to meet so many new artists through this, which is always so much fun. So if you participated, let me know down below so I can check out what you did. I may have already seen some of your work though, because I was checking that tag every other hour some days. But until next time, keep creating, get some good rest this month, and I'll see you guys in our next creative adventure. Bye.